What's up, YouTube? Welcome. I wanted to make a video today talking about leased vehicles and what you can do to get some extra money in your pocket instead of returning that vehicle to the dealership and paying a disposition fee. So what I'm talking about is selling your car to a dealership outright instead of selling it privately. And the biggest benefit of selling it to a dealer instead of selling it to a private party is that when you sell it to a dealer, you don't have to pay the tax on the buyout of the leased vehicle. They can essentially just buy out the car for the buyout price that the lease company has already decided. And what they will do is cut you a check for the difference. And so I wanted to share that experience that I went through with you guys, and hopefully you can get some of the same benefits that I received. So what you have here is the various companies that I went through to get offers on the vehicle that I was looking to get rid of. And so what you can see here is I used Carvana, CarMax, Kelley Blue Book, Instant Car Value, Edmunds, and Vroom. And so in addition to the offers that you see here, I also put here the buyout price. So if I were to buy out the car that we had leased, which is a Lexus NX200T, the buyout price would be $21,897. And so really just looked at the different places that were offering kind of instant car cash prices to buy your car and went through the process. And as you can see, there's a wide range in values that the different companies are offering. So the first one on the list was Carvana, and they offered the highest value. And you can see that value is $26,204 that they were offering to purchase the car. And I thought, this is great. This is a lot of money, and this is going to be a lot of extra money in our pocket. So you can see the equity or the check that they would provide us would be $4,217. And so that's a significant amount of money, you know, for somebody that was expecting to have to pay money to return this car, to avoid that penalty and also to get $4,200 back in my pocket. I thought that was excellent. So that was the first and highest offer we got. CarMax being number 2, KBB third, Edmunds fourth, and then Vroom was the last. So initially, I thought, hey, I'm going to proceed with Carvana. They're offering the highest amount of money. And their process for buying cars seems straightforward. When you look on their website, you just submit the information about your vehicle. You upload the documents that they require, which is basically the registration pictures. They wanted to see a picture of your license, and they wanted to see a confirmation of the buyout price. Uploaded those documents, and I got an email back the next day stating that they needed additional information. And that additional piece of information that they wanted was a confirmation of the maturity date. And so what they wanted from this information was to determine how many days left before the car needed to be returned back to the leasing company. And so when I called them and asked about this information, what they had told me was that they needed to have enough time to process everything. And so what they required that they did not publish on their website was that you needed to have at least 2 months remaining on the lease to be able to have Carvana purchase that vehicle. And so I only had 18 days remaining. And so after talking with the representative at Carvana, they reached out to their manager, tried to get approval to bypass that, but came back with a hard no that they could not purchase the vehicle. There was not enough time left in the lease to be able to process everything, and they were not going to be able to buy out my vehicle. So I was pretty bummed by that because, as you can see, they were the highest offer that was provided, and so it was a bit of a bummer, but I said, hey, let me see what else I can do. So that's when I really started to get additional offers to see what else I can get. The next offer that I received was from CarMax, and they provided a pretty good offer for the vehicle. While not as high as Carvana, it's still substantial enough. As you can see, it has an equity amount of $3,013. And so it was kind of a no-brainer just to work with the second on the list to see if they will buy out the car. And so I went in, I got the appraisal done, everything looked good. They said there was not going to be any restrictions as far as a maturity date goes, and that 2 to 3 weeks remaining in the lease would be plenty of time for them to process everything and still be able to provide me with that equity check. And so that's ultimately the option that I decided to go with. And so as we speak right now, the vehicle is at CarMax. My wife is up there getting everything processed, and if everything works out as planned, we should be getting a check for $3,013. If that doesn't happen, I will update you guys, but at this point, that is the plan. But before I cut out from the video, a couple of things I wanted to mention about the additional offers that I got. KBB was a bit lower. What their offer does is permits you to be able to go to a series of participating dealers and get this amount that they offer, as long as the condition is everything that you've specified on the questionnaire that you completed. Edmunds provided two different values when you entered the data on their site. So they provided you with a Edmunds trade-in value, which, as you can see, that amount was $24,058. In addition to that offer, they provided me with a CarMax offer. So they must have an affiliation with CarMax. And so in addition to the Edmunds value that they provided, they also provided me with a CarMax appraised value. And just by answering a few questions on their website, I was able to get that CarMax value, and they came back at the same exact value that CarMax offered when I went in and had the appraisal done. And so I thought this was really cool, because while the appraisal process for going into CarMax is pretty straightforward, it does require about an hour of your time. You have to drive up there, you have to wait, and it can be a bit more time consuming. Whereas if you just go to Edmunds' website, you enter in the vehicle information, you answer a few questions, it should provide you with that CarMax appraisal value. And like I said, in my situation, it was the exact same value as it was when I went into the store and had it appraised there. And so I thought that was a really cool tool. If you're going to be doing this yourself, before you go into CarMax, you might want to just do that to see if they're in the ballpark before you waste an hour of your time going up there and going through that process. And then the last offer here was from Vroom. They're another service provider like Carvana and CarMax that does things electronically and does home delivery, home pickup, things like that. And that offer was just the lowest that I received, so it wasn't even worth chasing there. But anyways, wanted to share this information with you. I'm going to be picking up my wife here shortly to get our equity check. Again, if there's any differences, or if there's anything that changes where I don't get that full 3,013 that I'm expecting, I will update you. But plan to pick her up here shortly. And again, I wanted to just share this experience. Hopefully you got something from this and this is helpful. All right. Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.